The internet is a vast archive of shared human experiences, creativity, and knowledge. But beneath the surface of viral memes and social media feeds lies a darker digital landscape. Over the years, online communities have stumbled upon anomalies, unexplained files, cryptic websites, and bizarre postings that defy simple explanation. These occurrences often spark massive collaborative investigations where thousands of anonymous sleuths attempt to piece together clues left behind by mysterious figures. Some of these investigations lead to elaborate, harmless art projects. Others uncover deep-seated conspiracies, real-world crimes, and tragedy. The following are four of the most disturbing internet mysteries, detailed from their initial discovery to the unsettling truths that were ultimately revealed. Boneghazi, the bone-stealing witch. In December 2015, a user named Enda Darlin posted a message in a private Facebook group called the Queer Witch Collective. The post started with a content warning for graves and bone hunting before describing a location just 20 minutes from Darlin's house in New Orleans. Darlin referred to the site as a poor man's graveyard. The post explained that whenever it rained, the ground would shift and human bones would rise to the surface. Darlin claimed that anyone could simply walk around the cemetery and find femurs, teeth, jaws, and skull caps lying in the open. Darlin admitted to routinely visiting the site to collect these human remains to use in spell work and curses, and offered to ship any leftover bones to other group members, asking only that they cover the cost of shipping. While the post was intended for a small private audience of occult practitioners, it did not remain secret for long. A member of the group took screenshots of the post and shared it on Tumblr. Within days, the post went viral, sparking a massive wave of outrage, morbid fascination, and dark memes under the tag Boneghazi. The backlash was intense, and internet users quickly identified the location Darlin had described, Holt Cemetery in New Orleans. Holt Cemetery was a historic potter's field established in the late 19th century. Unlike most New Orleans cemeteries, which utilize above-ground tombs due to the high water table, Holt Cemetery relies on below-ground burials. Historically, it was reserved for the city's poorest residents, many of whom were people of color. Because of the below-ground burials and the poor maintenance of the site over the decades, the soil was highly unstable, and erosion frequently exposed coffins and skeletal remains, especially after heavy rains. The online community quickly turned into a digital investigative force. Critics pointed out that Darlin, who was white, was desecrating the graves of historically marginalized, low-income people of color for personal rituals and internet clout. Others argued over the legality of the act. While some defenders claimed that picking up bones that had naturally surfaced was not a crime, Louisiana authorities thought otherwise. The viral outcry eventually reached Ryan Seidemann, an assistant attorney general with the Louisiana Department of Justice, who specialized in cemetery protection. The state launched a formal investigation. Police placed Darlin's residence under surveillance for several days. In January 2016, authorities executed a search warrant at Darlin's home. During the raid, investigators confiscated a laptop, a cell phone, 11 human bones, and 4 teeth. Testing by forensic anthropologists confirmed that the seized bones were indeed human. In July 2016, Darlin, whose legal name was Devin Marie Machuca, was arrested and charged with simple burglary of a cemetery and trafficking in human parts. Darlin spent 2 months in jail awaiting trial before pleading guilty to simple burglary and marijuana possession. Darlin was sentenced to time served and moved away from Louisiana.
In the wake of the scandal, Louisiana legislators enacted the Human Remains Protection and Control Act, significantly increasing the penalties for the unauthorized removal or sale of human skeletal remains. What had started as a strange post in a private Facebook group ended with a police raid, a criminal conviction, and a change in state law. Sad Satan, the Deep Web Game. On June 25, 2015, a horror-centric YouTube channel called Obscure Horror Corner uploaded the first video in a 5-part series showcasing a bizarre, unreleased game called Sad Satan. The channel's host, Jamie Farrell, claimed that a subscriber had sent him a link to a file hosted on a deep web forum. The forum post was allegedly signed by an anonymous user known only as ZK. Farrell explained that out of curiosity, he downloaded the file and decided to record his gameplay. The videos showed a player navigating a labyrinth of dark, blurry, and highly distorted hallways. The game featured no traditional objectives, combat, or clear narrative. Instead, the player simply walked through the monochrome corridors while the screen shook, inverted colors, and glitched. What made the game truly unsettling was its audio and visual design. The soundtrack consisted of heavily distorted, slowed down, and reversed audio clips, including interviews with Charles Manson, speeches by Adolf Hitler, and the slowed-down voice of Rolf Harris singing. Periodically, highly disturbing black-and-white photographs would flash on the screen. These images included historical figures like Margaret Thatcher and Jimmy Savile, but also victims of real-world tragedies, such as a child victim of Japanese serial killer Tsutomu Miyazaki. The series quickly garnered millions of views, and the internet became obsessed with uncovering the origin of Sad Satan. A dedicated subreddit, r/SadSatan, was created to analyze the videos. However, many users grew skeptical of Farrell's story. When asked to share the deep web link where he had downloaded the game, Farrell provided a Tor address that contained invalid characters. He later claimed he had altered the link to prevent his viewers from downloading a file that might contain graphic or harmful material. This led to speculation that the game did not actually come from the deep web, and that Farrell had created Sad Satan himself using a game design program called the Terror Engine to generate traffic for his channel. The mystery took a much darker and more dangerous turn in July 2015. A user claiming to be the real ZK posted a thread on 4chan's/X board. The user claimed that the version of Sad Satan shown by Obscure Horror Corner was a fake, sanitized version. To prove their point, the poster provided a download link to what they claimed was the true version of the game. Curious users who downloaded this file quickly realized they had made a terrible mistake. The file, which became known as the clone version, was highly malicious. Upon execution, it installed a Trojan horse virus that rendered computers sluggish, unresponsive, or completely inoperable, with some users reporting that their systems would no longer boot up at all. More horrifyingly, the clone version of the game actually contained the graphic material Farrell had claimed to protect his audience from. The flashing images in this version were not just historical photos. They included real-world gore, violence, and actual child pornography. The Reddit community immediately began working to mitigate the damage. Users flagged the download links, reported the host sites, and warned others to stay away. A sanitized, clean version of the game was eventually compiled, with all illicit and harmful files removed, allowing users to experience the atmospheric horror of the game without exposing themselves to viruses or illegal content.
The identity of the creator remained a subject of intense debate. Years later, some internet sleuths connected the pseudonym ZK to a man named Gary Graves, who was arrested and imprisoned on unrelated charges of possessing child pornography. While some believe Graves was the developer behind the malicious clone version, others suspected that Jamie Farrell created the original, safe version of the game, and an anonymous malicious actor on 4chan simply took the assets, added illegal material and malware, and released it under the name ZK to exploit the viral trend. Regardless of the true creator's identity, the Sad Satan saga remains a chilling reminder of how easily digital folklore can be weaponized to distribute real-world horror. Lake City Quiet Pills, Shadow Operatives on Reddit. In July 2009, an active Reddit user known by the handle Religion of Peace passed away. The user was known within the community as Milo, an elderly veteran who had moderated several subreddits. Following his death, a fellow moderator announced his passing, prompting curious Reddit users to examine Milo's extensive posting history. What they'd uncovered was a sprawling, highly unsettling rabbit hole that seemed to hint at a covert network of international mercenaries. As users dissected Milo's past comments, they noticed recurring references to a website called LakeCityQuietPills.com. At first glance, the website appeared to be a rudimentary image hosting platform. However, when tech-savvy users examined the site's source code and metadata, they discovered a hidden layer. Concealed within the HTML code was a private encrypted message board that was entirely invisible to casual visitors. The messages on this hidden board were written in highly technical, military-style jargon. They appeared to be coordinates, dispatch logs, payment confirmations, and job postings. The name of the website itself, Lake City Quiet Pills, took on a sinister connotation. Sleuths pointed out that Lake City likely referred to the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant in Missouri, a major manufacturer of small arms ammunition for the United States military. Quiet pills, in this context, was speculated to be slang for bullets. The theory that the website was a front for a private mercenary group or contract killers gained significant traction when users began cross-referencing the forum's job postings with real-world events. In early January 2010, the hidden forum featured a series of urgent messages detailing a high-priority operation in Dubai. The posts discussed travel arrangements, logistics, and a target that needed to be handled. On January 19, 2010, Mahmoud al-Maboob, a co-founder of the military wing of Hamas, was assassinated in his hotel room in Dubai. The assassination was highly coordinated, carried out by a team of operatives using forged European passports who successfully entered and exited the country without detection. While international intelligence agencies widely attributed the hit to Israel's Mossad, the online community noticed the uncanny correlation between the assassination and the timeline of the posts on Lake City Quiet Pills. Critics of the mercenary theory argued that the entire website was likely an elaborate hoax, an alternate reality game, or a creative writing project designed by Milo and his associates to mock internet sleuths. They pointed out that a real, highly classified group of contract killers would not utilize a publicly accessible, poorly secured website to coordinate illegal international operations. Others suggested that the site was simply a platform for shady, illicit trade that had been exaggerated by its creators for dramatic effect. Despite the skepticism, the mystery endured for over a decade. The website remained online, occasionally updating, while its operators strictly guarded its secrets.
Closed further in late 2023 when the current owner of LakeCityQuietPills.com requested that the Internet Archive exclude the domain from the Wayback Machine. This action effectively deleted all historical backups of the website, erasing the digital trail that researchers had spent years analyzing. Whether Lake City Quiet Pills was a genuine front for a shadow organization of international mercenaries or merely one of the most sophisticated digital hoaxes in Internet history remains unresolved. 11B-X-1371, the coded threat. In October 2015, Johnny Kroblicher, a Swedish tech journalist and the founder of the blog Gadgets.com, received a mysterious envelope in the mail. The package had been sent from Warsaw, Poland, and contained no return address.
Inside was a single unlabeled DVD-R with a long string of alphanumeric characters written across its surface in black marker. Kroblicher inserted the disc into his computer and discovered a single unnamed video file. When he played the video, he was greeted by a highly disturbing 2-minute black-and-white broadcast. The footage depicted a figure dressed in a heavy black hooded robe and a classic beaked leather plague doctor mask. The figure stood in a dilapidated, decaying room with a forest visible through the shattered windows in the background. Throughout the video, the figure made deliberate, jerky movements and held up a gloved hand containing a small blinking light. The audio was a chaotic, deafening wall of white noise and high-pitched screeches. Kroblicher published an article about the DVD on his blog, and the video, which came to be known as 11B-X-1371, based on a decrypted base64 string on the disk, quickly spread to Reddit, 4chan, and YouTube. Thousands of internet users began dissecting the video frame by frame, and the discoveries they made transformed the creepy clip into a potential national security threat. First, cryptographers analyzed the chaotic audio track. When the sound waves were run through an audio spectrogram, the visual output revealed graphic, highly disturbing images of bound, mutilated, and tortured women, alongside various medical sketches. Next, sleuths focused on the blinking light in the figure's hand. The light was flashing in Morse code, translating to the phrase, "You are already dead," in multiple languages. The visual frames of the video contained additional hidden layers of steganography. Hidden ciphers, including the historic Pigpen cipher and strings of binary code, were embedded in the walls of the ruined building and the video's metadata. When decrypted, these codes revealed the precise GPS coordinates of the United States White House. Another decrypted message read, "Strike an arrow through the heart of the eagle," and another string of characters formed an anagram that read, "Kill the President." The sheer volume of highly sophisticated, threatening ciphers led to widespread panic. Some feared the video was a genuine bioterrorism warning, prompting reports to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Others suspected it was a highly elaborate promotional stunt for a film or a video game. The physical location of the video was eventually traced to the Zofivka Sanatorium, an abandoned psychiatric hospital in Otwick, Poland, known for its tragic history during the Second World War. This discovery confirmed that the video had been filmed on-site in Poland. A few months after the video went viral, a man using the pseudonym Parker Warner Wright came forward on social media, claiming full responsibility for the creation of 11B-X-1371. To prove his authorship, he released a sequel video, 11B-3-1369, filmed in the same style and location, utilizing the same costume. Wright explained that the video was intended as an
interactive art project, a puzzle designed to challenge the minds of internet users. He declined to explain the meaning behind the threatening ciphers, stating that he preferred to let the audience interpret his work. While the revelation of the creator's artistic intent brought relief to those who feared a physical attack, the graphic spectrogram imagery and the unsettling execution of the puzzle left 11BX137 as one of the most sophisticated and genuinely creepy anomalies in the history of the web. Conclusion. These 4 cases represent only a small fraction of the mysteries that populate the digital landscape. They demonstrate the power of collective online investigation, showing how thousands of individuals working together can unravel complex ciphers, trace physical locations, and even assist law enforcement. However, they also expose a darker reality. The digital world is highly malleable, allowing real-world tragedies, criminal activities, and malicious hoaxes to be repackaged as online entertainment. As the Internet continues to grow, new mysteries will inevitably emerge, challenging our ability to separate digital fiction from real-world horror.